Toss elected to defer, so Louisville will be on offense first. Carter Davis to boot it deep to Colin Lacey, who's a very dangerous return man. He's got 2 punt returns for touchdowns this year. This will sail over his head, though, for a touchback. And Miller Moss, in his first year as the starting quarterback for Louisville, he was the backup to Caleb Williams at USC. Grew up in Los Angeles. After Williams elected to go pro in the bowl game against Louisville, Moss lit it up. And then last year was the starter. He got benched after 9 games. Off to a hot start here in October. 3 straight 300-yard games. And they're going to start the game with 2 quarterbacks on the field, Miller Moss and Brady Allen. That's Moss who takes the snap and hands it off, and a lot of running room for Isaac Brown. And that's a good sign, him getting a first down, because he's been struggling of late, and he had almost 1,200 yards a year ago.
It's an excellent sign. They spent the entire bye week trying to revamp and get this rushing attack going. It's been lethargic the last couple of weeks, and Isaac Brown, one of the most explosive running backs in the ACC, with good speed on that first down run.
And now they're going to go Wildcat as Lacey is lined up at quarterback. He fakes the pitch and keeps it himself, and he's twirled to the turf after a gain of 1 by Zachariah Poyser.
Well, Poyser, really a quality tackle in open field. Watch as he's going to come down and make this play. Colin Lacey is one of the toughest guys to tackle in the open space. Excellent punt returner, very good with the ball in his hands, and Poyser coming downhill, making that tackle for minimal gain.
Miller Moss getting it out of his hand quickly, and it's a first down strike to Trayshawn Hurry. Second first down on this drive and a gain of 11.
This is where they want to be. Quick game, rhythm throws for Miller Moss to help slow down that pass rush. This elite defensive line of Miami that we'll talk about. The best way to negate them and help this offensive line, get the ball out of Miller Moss's hands quick. Well done on second down.
Moss to throw, in trouble, trying to set up a screen. And a nice play made out in space on Isaac Brown. Ahmad Moten Sr. with the takedown after a pickup of 4.
What I like about this game plan early, get Isaac Brown the football, try to get him some space. We saw him off tackle. Now they go back, throw him a screen. Even Colin Lacey, the play that didn't work. Get these playmakers the football, try to get them on edges, and force this Miami defense to tackle their best playmakers in space.
Well, you knew Jeff Brown would have a plan. Certainly with a bye week. We've seen a bunch of different formations. Moss over the middle, complete. And a first down for Chris Bell. Not just the best receiver for Louisville, but one of the best in the country. 5th in the nation in receiving yards.
And so good here in space. He's just going to sit this down. He fills the zone coverage, and this is perfect for Chris Bell. He's going to find just enough. And again, that ball coming out in rhythm and fast from Miller Moss. An outstanding start for this Louisville offense.
36 catch now for Bell. In the top 10 in that category as well. Back to the ground game. Brown cuts it upfield. Breaks a tackle. Still going inside the 20. And they finally get to him near the 10. A gain of almost 30 for the Miami native, Isaac Brown.
Well, it's an outstanding block by Musa, 71. He's going to pull around and get up on Basaint. The linebacker is going to make some space here for Isaac Brown. You see the patience, allow the block to set up, and then tough to tackle in the open field. This is the Isaac Brown we saw a season ago, Dave Pasch.
Went to Homestead High School. He had 100 yards in each of his first 2 games, but under 100 total the last 3. Great start, though, here tonight, putting the ball at the 12-yard line of Miami. And keeping it as the backup quarterback, Deuce Adams. We have seen 3 different quarterbacks on this first drive. And Adams, a redshirt freshman from Austin, Texas, picks up a handful.
Jeff Brom is one of the best schemers in college football. And talk about utilizing your time off. You've already touched on it, Dave, throwing so much at this Miami defense here on this opening possession.
Miami's only given up 6 points in the first quarter this season. No touchdowns. But Louisville inside the 10 on 2nd and 6. Moss back in at quarterback. He'll throw over the middle. And a big hit inside the 5 on Chris Bell. He comes up about a yard short of the line to gain. He'll bring up 3rd down and short. Mesidor with the tackle.
Can they run the football on this Miami front? Dare they run the football on this Miami front? Important 3rd and short here early on this drive. We've been one step ahead this entire way. Ewan Brown, more of a downhill between the tackles back in for Louisville.
But Moss to throw, and his pass is off target, and he had Kariski. So now 4th down, and they're going to keep the offense on the field for now.
I'd take points. I'd kick this. You had a positive opening drive, take the lead. It would be deflating if they got stopped here and came away with this with no points, and that's what Jeff Brom's going to do. Field goal unit on the field, Dave.
Yep, kept the offense out there and then changed his mind and sends on Cooper Ranvier, who's missed just once this season. 22-yard attempt. And they fake it. And it's David Chapeau, the backup punter.
Wow, Chapeau, watch, he's going to take it right here. 2 is going to feather out and stay with the kicker. No one stays with the holder. It's wide open as he gets inside the 1. What a call. An execution here by Jeff Brom.
Miami thought he fumbled the ball. You can clearly see that he's down. The question is, did he cross the plane? There was no ruling. The officials didn't rule anything. Both teams were celebrating. Miami thought they had a takeaway. Louisville thought they had a touchdown, but the ruling now is 1st and goal. But there was complete confusion on the sideline and on the field for both teams. You see the elbow down there.
Sure, look, I mean, where's the nose of the football? Tough to tell from that angle. Looks like that ball is just short from that first look.
So we got the ACC Command Center working with Al Riveron, the coordinator of football officials back there.
So right now we see the elbow, but we can't see the ball.
The elbow down, but we can't tell where the ball is in relation to the line, or excuse me, the goal line.
Correct. So based off of this,
and TV's not sending anything new, so we're gonna go with uphold on this.
Yes, the ruling on the field will be upheld. Is everybody in agreement?
Yes.
Wonderful.
One more coming in.
Okay, let me take this.
Hold on.
We've already seen this one.
Yes.
Thank
ruling
you.
on the field is upheld.
Okay, after further review, the ruling on the field is upheld. Thank you.
Yes.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld.
It was so interesting, though. Miami was celebrating.
Because I think they were confused and thought since he didn't get in, they were thinking it was a goal-to-go situation. It wasn't. It was 4th and 2. Now 1st and goal inside the 1-yard line. Wow. What an opening drive for Jeff Brom. Formations, 3 different quarterbacks, a fake field goal, everything being thrown Miami's way on this opening possession. Can Louisville finish off the drive? Big personnel in the game here, as it looks like they're going to try to run the football between the tackles.
And it's a tush push. And Moss close. There it is. Signal a touchdown for Louisville. Terrific opening drive that goes the length of the field in 6 minutes and includes a fake field goal on 4th down. And then a 1-yard touchdown run for Moss.
And on the 20-year anniversary of the Bush push, we kick off the weekend with a tush push here, and Moss finding the end zone.
Ranvier on for the extra point. No fake here. And the kick makes it 7-0 Louisville.
Oh, I thought Jeff Brom just wanted to come away with points. He wanted points. He wanted more than 3. They call the fake field goal. It's executed. And then it's Miller Moss into the end zone. What a start for Louisville.
All they've trailed this season, but add on to that number as soon as the clock starts running. This is their largest deficit. They were down 3-0 to Florida State and now trail 7-0 after an amazing opening drive with Jeff Brom dialing up several trick plays, a fake flea flicker, 3 different quarterbacks on the field, 2 at one time, and then the fake field goal where the backup punter slash holder picks up a first down, and then Miller Moss punches it in. Keelan Marion deep for Miami. Keller will boot it away. So Miami will start on the 25. Carson Beck, 29-3 record as a starter, best among active quarterbacks. He's got 11 touchdown passes on the season, 3 interceptions. 2 of those came against USF, and he's 4th in the country in completion percentage. Won 2 national titles as a backup at Georgia.
Well, he's got a big arm. He could push the ball down the field, but the accuracy has really jumped out off the tape these first 5 games as he continues to just get more and more sync with the offensive coordinator, Shannon Dawson.
Back to throw on first down, and over the middle the catch is made at the 29 by C.J. Daniels, but an immediate tackle, gain of 4.
Really balanced offense here for Miami. They have a massive offensive line. They will roll their sleeves up, pound the football down your throat, or spread you out and throw it all over the yard.
They have a big back in Mark Fletcher. He gets the carry here, but no running room. Stood up at the point of attack. And now a flag comes in as there was a late shove, and D'Angelo Hutchinson hit the deck for Louisville. Wesley Bailey was in there too for Louisville, getting into a shoving match.
I think this might be on CC Maui Noah. Hutchinson came in, gave a little push, and then Maui Noah with a full extension. They always catch the second guy, Dave.
Play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness. Offense, number 61. 15-yard penalty. It's 3rd down.
One of the best offensive tackles in college football. He's in the conversation for the Outland. See right here in the middle of your screen. The slight push there by Hutchinson, and then the retaliation by Maui Noah draws the flag.
So that will back up Miami to its 15-yard line. It will be 2nd down and 25.
Against one of the better 3rd down defenses in this league, and they dial up pressure in these kind of situations. You see them all right there at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it's 3rd down actually. 3rd down and 25. And Beck will just throw a screen to Malachi Toney, and he is wrapped up at the 18-yard line. We touched on in the open that relentless Louisville defense, leading the ACC in pass defense and total defense, and they get a 3 and out.
D'Angelo Hutchinson and a host of Cards defenders flying around. Malachi Toney's been the most impressive freshman wide receiver in college football. But on 3rd and 25, it's an uphill battle, but nowhere to go with that defense barreling down on it.
And the dangerous Colin Lacey is back. Here's the punt by Dylan Joyce. Returnable for Lacey from his 38-yard line. And Lacey's got some room. And out of bounds in Miami territory at the 46-yard line after a return of 17 yards. And time now for...
And I think one of the best defensive players in college football, Ruben Bain. It's the strength, it's the power off the edge. Quarterback. Few, if any, have been able to slow down this tandem. One of the best there is in college football.
And Dusty, they're making Bain and these defensive players think, because there are 3 quarterbacks in the game and none of them are actually under center. You've got a direct snap to the Wildcat, Colin Lacey. And Miami did well there at the line of scrimmage to grab Lacey and throw him down. Aguirre and Besaint team up on the stop. They had all three receivers lined up wide, or three quarterbacks rather, lined up wide to the right there on first down.
A lot of eye candy. It just turns into a direct snap and counter. Well defended. Mesidor set the edge. Besaint able to clean it up.
Now just one quarterback on the field, and it's Moss in the gun on 2nd and 9.
Kind of make you work tonight, Dave, to identify all these players.
And they just had a receiver, Chris Hughes, lined up in the backfield. They motioned him out. Moss getting rid of it quickly again. Kariski, the tight end. He'll come up just short of a first down. Mesidor out there making the stop. 3rd down and about 1.
A quick game. Again, how many times have we already said it in these first 2 drives? Ball out quick. Kariski outside, unidentified. It's an easy find for Miller Moss. 3rd and short earlier. Saw an RPO action. They took the tight end across the formation. He was open. Miller Moss just a little hot on the throw.
But it's Deuce Adams at quarterback. They ran him on the first possession. Might do it again here on 3rd and short. Adams will keep it. And he has a first down to the 35-yard line.
Between the tackles, when you go direct snap and run the quarterback, you get that +1. Allow yourself added opportunity. Use Isaac Brown, the running back, as a lead blocker. A nice job running there by Adams, just lowering his shoulder and moving the chains once again.
Miller Moss back in. I think each play now we have to tell the audience how many quarterbacks are in the game. Moss, and it's Bell breaking free inside the 20, inside the 10. It's a Louisville touchdown. What a start on the road against number 2. The Cardinals lead at 13-0.
Well, Chris Bell's been one of the best wide receivers in the country the last couple of weeks. It's going to be man-to-man on Frenetic. Just a shallow cross. Watch Frenetic get bumped by his own linebacker as he's running across. All he needs is a step, and you see the playmaking ability with the ball in his hands as he strolls down the sidelines and gives Louisville an early 2-score lead.
Well, if you look at the last couple of years when Miami has gotten off to great starts, they've had some hiccups and haven't finished strong. They were 9-0 1 point last year, lost 3 of their last 4. They're 5-0 this year, but down 14-0 at home to Louisville.
We talk coming in about Miami's playmakers. It's been the playmaking of Louisville so far.
Quarterbacks, 3 quarterbacks, all at the same time. Trick plays, fake trick plays, a fake field goal. And how about this? 14-0 over the number 2 team, undefeated Miami. Let's check in now with Taylor after the touchback.
Dave, there is a sense of panic right now on Miami's sideline. Defensive players going quick to the iPad, trying to figure out what exactly is going on. The message has been the ball is coming out fast. We have to be ready for that. There has not been good communication prior to the snap, so something they're trying to address right now is just simply getting on the same page with everything that Louisville is throwing at them early, Dave.
There's no doubt about that, Taylor. And again, how do you slow down this defensive line? Quick game. Ball's coming out fast. And the communication, Dave, identifying what personnel every play is a real key moving forward for Miami.
Miami's had just 3 plays. Louisville's run 15. Back down the seam. A catch is made. And it's C.J. Daniels in the Louisville territory for a gain of 30.
Well, bunch set on the outside, and C.J. Daniels just going to come scot-free. A bust in coverage and an outstanding find up the seam from Carson Beck.
Back to the air again. Now taking a shot. Going for Toney, who makes the grab inside the 10. First and goal, Hurricanes. He beat D'Angelo Hutchinson for a gain of 40 on the play.
Well, he put so much air underneath the ball. Great touch down the field. Allow Malachi Toney to adjust to that ball perfectly and make a big catch. Right here, one-on-one, he's just going to run a fade, and he's going to win. The ball up in the air allows Malachi Toney to track it, make a great play going up and getting and finishing that catch.
30th catch on the year for the true freshman. Here's Fletcher straight ahead. Like a battering ram. He just pinballs off of a linebacker and gains about 5 on first down. Holloway was in there first for Louisville and got the worst of that.
Pads popping. Mark Fletcher, the big body running back, 6'2", 225, local product, part of Mario Cristobal's first full recruiting class. See that downhill physicality he brings to the table. Good answer right here from this Miami offense.
2nd and goal on the 3. Fletcher again, and this time he's popped in the backfield at the 4-yard line. Able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Caleb Perry in there first, along with JoJo Evans for Louisville.
TJ Quinn, the leader in that linebacker room, quality tackler. Coming downhill. Well, I would look for Malachi Toney in these spots. They'd love to find him in 3rd down. Also, C.J. Daniels, but a go-to target, both top of your screen.
Instead, it's a run play to Fletcher. No signal yet. The lights are going off. Now there's a signal. Touchdown, Miami. 6th on the year for Mark Fletcher, and a great bounce-back drive by the Canes.
Mark Fletcher, heavy dose of him once they get inside the 10. Just continues to contort, fight, easily crossing the goal line to cap off that touchdown.
It landed on a defender and rolled over for 6. That was just a 2-minute and 50-second response by Miami to cut the deficit in half if Davis puts this through. And it's 14-7 at the 2:19 mark of the opening quarter.
Well, Malachi Toney's been doing it to everybody all season long. The explosive play down the field sets up the Mark Fletcher touchdown, and this team is built different. Watch the double team here inside. Watch Maui Noah get up to the 2nd level. The offensive line pays the pass, and Fletcher pays it off. Canes on the board here in Miami.
Well, the last 2 years, there have been barn burners in this series. Here in Miami 2 years ago, Louisville won. That's actually the last home loss for Miami. 10 straight wins since. Last year, Miami en route to a 9-0 start survived a scare at Louisville, ended up winning that game by 7. And we've got a 7-point game here late in the first quarter. Touchback, and Louisville will start this drive on the 25. Straight from the greatest seat in sports, the Goodyear.
He knew they were in for a fight. He knew Louisville was going to come in and throw their best punch. And that's exactly the way this game has began here tonight.
Moss swing pass on first down. Lacey lined up in the backfield. And he's close to a first down and has it at the 36-yard line.
And just getting playmakers the ball out in space, Dave, moving Colin Lacey around all over the place. And we want to talk about a graphic. I don't know how many people would have gotten that one right. All the head coaches in the ACC in the last 3 years, nobody with more victories than Jeff Brom.
Made it to the ACC title game 2 years ago, lost to Florida State. Got all the way to number 9 in the country that season. Another first down, and they run it this time to Kewan Brown. And he's tripped up after a gain of 3 by Moten. Well, Brown was at Purdue prior to Louisville. Western Kentucky before that. He played at Louisville, grew up in Louisville. He's a 1993 grad. And then ended up playing in the NFL for about 7 seasons. Said he never crossed paths with Mario Cristobal, who played at Miami at the same time. A little bit of pro football as well, but deep respect between the two coaches. On 2nd and 8, Moss floats it toward the sideline. And staying in bounds is Dakari Collins. He got popped by Basaint. We'll see where they spot the ball. He's going to be a yard short of the line to gain.
Well, here's another way to slow down a pass rush. They're going to cut across the front. Whole line's going to cut, and then you're going to see this space here. It's just going to be an easy hookup and pitch and catch. Whole line cut, slows down that pass rush, gets their hands down, and a nice pickup there once again on 2nd down.
Boy, Louisville's been in 3rd and 4th and short for a lot of this opening quarter. And here's Moss with a quarterback sneak. They try to shove him forward, and with second effort, it's going to be close.
This might come down to a big decision. Looks like it's going to be a little bit short, Dave, based off the spot we have in front of us.
They'll have some time to think about it because we're going to have the first quarter break. It is 4th down. The Louisville Cardinals come out with a variety of formations and some trickery here in the opening quarter. They led 14-0 at the 5-minute mark of the first. Good response by Miami. It's 14-7 after 1. So they looked at this during the commercial break, and they changed it to a first down. Watch here, the forward progress never stops.
First down. Good job by replay to get that right.
Moss pulls it back. The pass behind the intended target, Dakari Collins. It's only the 2nd incompletion for Miller Moss. Louisville with 142 yards in the first quarter and 14 points. Miami had allowed 6 points all year in the first quarter. And they have now trailed longer in this game than they had the entire season coming in.
Haven't said the name of Ruben Bain much today. Top of your screen.
Moss almost picked off. Jacoby Thomas got a hand on it. Couldn't secure it though.
Well, Jacoby Thomas has been playing so well. Watch him read the eyes and come down from that center field safety position. He is all over this and so close to bringing in a one-handed interception.
He got hurt on the play too with this extension and landing, and he's on the sideline. They're starting free safety here for a big 3rd down and 10.
Watch for 3 and 4. Akeem Mesidor moving around. You see him right here, bottom of your screen.
And Bain standing up on the other side. And here comes Bain after Moss, who gets rid of the pass, but it's incomplete. Intended for Collins, and it's 4th down.
Well, the key is to get Miller Moss uncomfortable to move off his spot. If he can stay clean, get the ball out quick or be in rhythm, he's going to come late here, Bain off the edge. But it forces Miller Moss to have to move to his left, not nearly as accurate off schedule, and a huge stop for this Miami defense.
The #1 defensive end prospect, according to Mel Kiper Jr., Ruben Bain. And Malachi Toney with the fair catch. Excellent punt by Carter Schwartz. It'll be Miami ball at its 7-yard line.
Improvement on the defensive side so far in this season. Corey Heatherman's been a great addition. The line of scrimmage that this offensive and defensive line is able to create and win, it's been impressive so far in 25.
First down on the Miami 7-yard line. Here's Fletcher. And it takes 3 Cardinals to get him to the ground at about the 12-yard line. Fletcher, 225 pounds. There is a penalty marker down at about the 2-yard line. Fletcher had a big game against Louisville here 2 years ago in the loss. He had over 100 yards and 2 scores.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Offense, number 10, his first of the game. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, Malachi Toney is going to be blocking on 21 D'Angelo Hutchinson. And he actually gets an excellent block. One thing he does off the football, see him come down here, going to get the initial block, pancake him, and then whenever he gets up, kind of stands over the top of him, and it draws the flag from the official.
That's the second unsportsmanlike penalty we've had on Miami. They have 40 penalties on the year. That's been the one area that's been a problem. Fletcher, no running room that time. Hutchinson in there first. Jerry Lawson finishes him off. TJ Quinn in there too to stop the run.
TJ Quinn putting together an excellent season. Led Louisville in tackles each of the last 2 years. On pace to do it a 3rd straight season. He spearheads the second level of this Cards defense.
2nd and 12 at the 5-yard line. Beck straddling his goal line will throw from the end zone. Fires complete to Daniels. And it's right at the line to gain. It is a first down for C.J. Daniels, who's been targeted early and often here by Carson Beck.
Boy, it's a good route, little comeback. Timing is really on the mark for Carson Beck and C.J. Daniels.
Beck to throw again, stepping up, and now taking a deep shot, going for Toney, and it's picked off. Intercepted by Antonio Watts. What a play by Watts, his 3rd interception already this season.
Well, Watts is going to come from here. He's going to start here and work his way back. The route from Tim Toney is going to come from right there. Just an incredibly athletic play. Watts is a linebacker, giving Brown, reading the quarterback's eyes. Ball hangs in the air, and it's a takeaway for Louisville. Playmaker's hands quickly.
No running on first down, straight ahead. Isaac Brown grabbed at the 35 by Mo Toure. Miami trailing by 10 or more points for the first time this season. It was 14-0 Louisville, and that first quarter yardage total, the 2nd most allowed by Miami in any quarter this season. You touched on getting rid of it quickly. Miller Moss, the quarterback. Also the variety that Jeff Brom, with the play calling and the formations, multiple quarterbacks, it's making Miami have to stop and think and identify who the quarterback is. Here's Isaac Brown with room. He gets drilled, but able to keep the feet moving and drive through that defender Poyser and get a first down for Louisville.
But once again, good blocking, and I love the vision. Pull backside guard, pull the tight end around, and you'll see Isaac Brown just give this man some space. Good patience following his tight end 85 and finishing off that run lower in the shoulder. Big hit at the end of this. Poyser coming downhill as Isaac Brown leads forward for a first down.
That's 49 rushing yards already for Brown. He had 1173 last year. Off play action. Moss throws underneath. And Bell is into Miami territory, close to another first down. It is a gain of about 12, and they'll move the chains again as Louisville's in Miami territory again.
Well, it's the exact same play we saw earlier on the Chris Bell touchdown. Just a shallow cross catching Miami and man-to-man coverage. And the Miami corner, Frenetic, just not able to stay with him. This time he gave a little space, had to run around the second-level linebackers. You cannot give space to zero Chris Bell, or he will make you pay.
26 play for Louisville. Miami's run 11. Nothing there for Kewan Brown. Teray in his 7th year. Spent 6 of those at Rutgers with the hit. No gain.
Or Teray downhill coming right at you. He's got a great relationship with the defensive coordinator, Corey Heatherman. Played for Heatherman when he was at Rutgers 2 years ago before Heatherman moved on to Minnesota. Now he comes to Miami. Coach Heatherman told us that Teray called him up when he got in the portal and said, I want to come play for you. And he's been a key piece to this Miami defense so far this season.
Moss to the air, in trouble on 2nd down and sacked back at the 41. Keontae Scott, and that's the first negative play of the game for either team.
But Corey Heatherman's been waiting to dial it up. Keon Scott, watch him hide right here behind Ruben Bain, and it's going to open right up. Blown protection, a Louisville offensive line that struggled all year in protection. They do not identify the nickel. He comes scot-free and gets a big sack.
14th sack of Miller Moss this year. Third down and 21, and look how deep those safeties are for Miami. And just dumping it off to Lacey. And Lacey dives out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. So it's going to be around 4th and 10. And here comes the punt team. The last punt by Carter Schwartz was excellent. Pinned Miami back at its 7-yard line.
Miami has been so good this year. Anytime they've turned the football over, coming back and getting a stop on defense. Remember, that was off the Carson Beck interception, and the defense gets a big stop.
So it's Chapeau actually punting this time. He was the holder on that fake field goal. And it's taken by Toney on the fair catch around the 11-yard line. Carson Beck, who's 5 for 2 in 2017, got off to a 10-0 start, then lost their last 3 games. Last year was a 9-0 start, lost 3 of 4. This year a 5-0 start and down 14-7 early in the 2nd quarter here at home. It was 14-0 midway through the 1st. And a penalty marker pre-snap out of the break.
Like left tackle Markel Bell.
Offense number 70, 5-yard penalty. It's 1st down.
Down to the field and Taylor.
Coach is not happy about that. Mario Cristobal called up Carson Beck, C.J. Daniels, and Malachi Toney and said, we cannot beat ourselves. We have to play Miami football. Penalties have been an issue, and early in this game, Dave and Dusty, they're rearing their head yet again.
13 against Florida State in the last game. 3 already here tonight, and none on Louisville.
Going to drive Mario Cristobal crazy, to Taylor's point.
Jordan Lyle in the game at tailback. And Beck to throw from his end zone, has to step up. And a long throw to the tight end Bauman. He's out to about the 21-yard line, right at the 1st down marker. Jabari Mack on the hit.
Well, Cleb Lubin's going to get a really good pass rush. I love the pocket presence here from Carson Beck. Watch him step up, avoid this pressure, and a long throw over to his right to Bauman.
They go with a little tempo here on 2nd down and short, and it's Lyle getting the 1st down before he's tripped up by Evans. A gain of 11 on the play.
Good patience there by Jordan Lyle, the sophomore, banged up after the Notre Dame game. He was back last week sparingly. He got a 3-headed monster at running back, and offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson likes to share the load. Mark Fletcher is the feature back, but you'll see Marty Brown. A nice run there by Lyle.
This time, no running room for Lyle. Dropped by Cleb Lubin. You know, you talk about the transfer portal. A lot of people don't like it. Cleb Lubin is a reason why college football players love it. This is a guy that played at Army, then was at a community college, then at Coastal Carolina. Now he's at Louisville, and he may end up in the NFL.
And he's playing like one of the best defensive ends in the ACC. Highly productive. They're off the edge for the Cards. Carson Beck, multiple audibles checking here.
Play clock down to 3. Pump fake. Beck looking long. It's underthrown. And it's intercepted again. This time Jabari Mack. 2 interceptions in the last 2 possessions thrown by Carson Beck.
Well, he called for the double move outside. Problem is, Jabari Mack ain't biting on the double move. He stays in perfect position outside. And as you put properly, slightly underthrown here by Carson Beck. And the second interception here in this first half for this Louisville defense.
And 5 interceptions now in the season for Beck. And if you go back to when he was at Georgia, when he was playing really well 2 years ago in 2023, when Georgia went 13-1, he only threw 6 interceptions. Last year, 12 picks and a bunch of turnovers here in the last couple games, including the 2 tonight.
How about the skill here from this Louisville defense? 2 very impressive athletic interceptions in this first half.
And they're going to go Wildcat here. And Miami not fooled. Isaac Brown taking the direct snap and losing a couple yards at the 30-yard line.
We're really well played inside. Big 99 is going to make this play. And how about the Saint coming downhill? This is the penetrative Miami front. It's Moton on one side, it's Bassane on the other, and it's nowhere for Brown to go.
We've seen 3 different quarterbacks in the game, sometimes at the same time. We've seen 2 different other players taking direct snaps as Brown makes a defender miss. What a juke, and gets the first down. And now a late flag is thrown back around the 43-yard line. Poyser shoved Brown out of bounds, a gain of 17. But Louisville starting to walk
Personal
backwards.
Foul, illegal blindside block. Offense number 0. 15-yard penalty. It's 2nd down.
It's going to be on Chris Bell. Chris Bell is going to come in. He's going to get a piece of 11. David Blade Jr. I don't know about that. I called that illegal blindside. Matt Austin, do you agree with that call?
Well, I agree it's from the blind side, but I don't see much forcible contact. Usually you need
it
both.
looked almost like in a punt return where you just throw your body in front of the man. That was pretty well done by Chris Bell, but it draws a flag.
So it's 2nd down and 17. And Matt Moss's pass off the mark, intended for Collins, so it brings up 3rd down and 17. And this is danger zone here because, you know, Miami's going to tee off on that Louisville offensive line.
Got to be smart. Screens. Get the ball out of the hand quick of Miller Moss. And boy, if Miami can come up with another stop, for the 2nd time, consecutive possessions that they're able to negate the takeaway from the Louisville defense. Ruben Bain, bottom of your screen.
And it's a screen over the middle, and Bain makes the tackle on Lacey at the 30-yard line. Great play by Ruben Bain Jr. to force a punt. And as you said, Dusty, no points now off 2 takeaways for Louisville.
Well, watch Ruben Bain never give up as he's going to come down the line on the screen. ESV, excitement, swarm, violence. That's what Corey Heatherman demands out of his defense, and that's what he gets from Ruben Bain.
Chapeau, the left-footed punter, will boot it to Malachi Toney. He's got a little more room this time. The last 2 punts were inside the 10-yard line. And this is an end-over-end line drive. Toney, and they're going to say signaled for a fair catch, and they're going to throw a flag. Toney is acting as if obviously he did not, because he had a head of steam and was running with the football.
Delay of game. Receiving team number 10 gave an invalid fair catch signal and ran down the field. 5-yard penalty. 1st down. Timeout on the field.
Four penalties on Miami.
Ooh, I don't know, Dave.
No fair catch signal to me. But they called it. Penalty on Miami. Back in a moment.
story in college football. He's going to be there to talk about it.
Carson Beck has thrown picks on 2 of his last 3 passes, able to hit Toney, but he was brought down by Corey Gordon after a gain of 5. Do you think James Franklin will coach immediately elsewhere?
You know, I really don't know. I think he's going to have opportunities. He would be I think, be a very good candidate for several jobs that are already available. We anticipate more jobs will come available. The reality is James Franklin is a really good coach. His time at Vanderbilt, his time at Penn State, he is a winner, and he's going to be a sought-after commodity.
On 2nd and 5, a dump off out in space to Brown, who gets a first down out to the 48, and a flag comes in. There's a flag that was thrown late. Now, certainly James Franklin was a winner, but in the big games he was not, and that's the reason he was ousted at Penn State midseason.
Holding. Offense number 7, 10-yard penalty, and 2nd down.
Yeah, there's no question, Dave. 1-18 for James Franklin at Penn State against the Big Ten. He's expected to win those games, and especially this year with this team that he had coming back. Penn State all in. We all know about that situation. As another flag on the outside. You get C.J. Daniels at right hand outside the framework on Jabari Mack when that jersey pulls to draws the flag.
4.5 to go here in the 2nd quarter. Spot foul, so 2nd and 10. Toney on the screen with a blocker in front, and he frees him. Toney past the 40, inside the 30. Hand fighting with a defender and finally wrestled to the ground at the 9-yard line by Holloway. A 62-yard catch and run for Malachi Toney.
Well, Malachi Toney is going to get the credit, but the blocking here is fabulous by this offensive line. 73, Inez Cooper blows up Gordon to help spring this explosive run after the catch by Malachi Toney. Dave, he is must-see TV. Not just one of the best freshmen in college football, one of the best wide receivers we've seen in college football in 2025.
Well, he's already over 100 receiving yards on the day. 1st and goal for Miami, looking to tie the game. Lyle straight ahead. Nothing doing. Louisville stout at the point of attack. It'll be 2nd down. And goal from the 9-yard line.
The screen game, a big part of what Miami does. Love spreading it out, getting their playmakers the football out in space.
Louisville led 14-0. With about 5 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Miami has stormed back and now in a position to maybe tie it before intermission. Back to the air and throws it away. C.J. Daniels was being defended by Holloway around the 1-yard line, and now it's 3rd down and goal.
Live to fight another day. Well defended and covered down the field. Carson Beck just throws it out of the back of the end zone.
See what Shannon Dawson dials up here. Excellent offensive coordinator in his 3rd season at Miami.
I would locate number 10, Malachi Toney. And boy, you better think twice if you were to play man-to-man coverage on him. As tough as anybody to deal with on the inside of this trip set.
Beck looking the other way, now steps up on the run. Beck in trouble and taken down at the 10-yard line by T.J. Quinn to force a field goal try.
Bend but don't break. And watch Quinn is going to do an excellent job. Eyes on the quarterback. It's zone coverage. And it's a foot race to the sidelines, and one that the veteran linebacker T.J. Quinn wins. Very important stop there for that Louisville defense.
And Miami will take this down to the 2-minute timeout. They don't want Louisville to have more time when it gets the ball back, especially with the way Jeff Brom has been dialing it up so far in this game. Creative play calling by Brom and the Cardinals. Well, if EJ had any eligibility left, he could play for Louisville tonight because they love to put quarterbacks on the field together. 3 of them on a couple of plays were all out there together, and Miami now trying a short field goal, 27 yards from Carter Davis. And so it's 14-10 Louisville. How do you think Miami's handled this, Dusty, considering it was 14-0? This is the first time Miami's been in this position with this kind of adversion. Beck with a little time on the clock. Davis, who just made his 5th field goal in 5 tries, will kick it deep to Colin Lacey. He'll come out to the 25. Saturday, SEC on ABC college football starts at noon. LSU and Vanderbilt. And it's Ole Miss and Georgia. And at night, Tennessee and Alabama. And of course, every game is on the all-new ESPN app.
LSU Vandy, when do you think the last time Vanderbilt was favored over LSU?
Has it ever happened?
1948. Don't act like you weren't watching the game, Pat. That's going to be a great game. Can Pavia will be a huge win. Can Pavia take down LSU? I like Georgia and Athens tomorrow. I think Kirby Smart has something for Ole Miss. So I don't know exactly just how good they are, but they've had a great start to the season.
Game day will be there. James Franklin on the air in the 11 o'clock hour as well. Kariski on the catch. And it is a first down. The clock will stop inside 2 minutes to reset the chains. And again, 3 timeouts left for the Cardinals.
Which is a smart play by Miller Moss. Locates Kariski wide open, middle of the field, an easy dump down to move the chains.
Sideline throw by Moss. And pushed out of bounds is Lacey after a short game with 1:33 to go. Scott on the stop for Miami.
Just really have to tip my cap to the overall plan for Jeff Brom. We've seen so much, and we continue to see quick game, ball coming out quick. We came in talking so much about this Louisville offensive line, their inability to protect, this Miami front, how good they are, and it's been negated for the most part this entire first half.
Clock starting on the snap. Swing pass. Isaac Brown. And he likes to stay in bounds, but then gets shoved out. Going to bring up 3rd down and 5 with 1:26 to go, and that may help Miami.
Yeah, but that was what Isaac Brown. If they don't get this first down, Miami got to get the football back with 3 timeouts in the pocket. An important 3rd down here before halftime.
Akeem Mesidor was hobbling. He's at the top of your screen. He stays
Chris Bell
in the game here.
Chris Bell, inside receiver.
Moss in trouble. His pass is caught for a first down, and Mesidor is really hurt now. He tried to drop in coverage that time and could not make the play. Trayshawn Hurry with the first down catch. Scott eventually on the stop.
Timeout for an injury to a defensive player.
And Mesidor is saying, I'm good. But you could clearly see him hobbling after the 2nd down play. Mesidor in his 6th season. He started out at West Virginia. He is #2 in the country among active players in career sacks. He's a terrific player, but obviously in some pain.
Take a look at Mesidor on this last play. And you're right, Dave. He's lost some weight, lost 10 to 12 pounds. I think he's playing quicker, more explosive than I've seen. And very clear something ailing him as he takes a knee. I love this for Miller Moss, though. You're going to see Zero Scott come in on a pressure. He's going to come inside. He's going to get home. Watch Miller Moss move to his right, work away from the pressure on his 2nd read, locate a 2nd target. Talked about if Miami can get Miller Moss off his spot. They got him off his spot, but Miller Moss with a big answer on 3rd down.
Well, he's a talented quarterback, just needs some protection. He's not been under duress so far in this game like he had in the previous 5 games played. And this time he's in trouble and almost throws a pick. That hit the leg of the receiver, Bell. Otherwise, it might have been picked off by Frenetic.
Yeah, Chris Bell working that comeback and loses his footing. As you put it properly, Dave, As he's coming up off the ground, this ball is going to hit his leg. I don't know if it hit his leg. I think it just hit Frederic's arm.
Frederic didn't look like he ever saw the ball. That was Ahmad Moten who had the pressure on Moss. Got 2 touchdowns, 1 through the air and 1 on the ground. Moss on second down. Lobs it to the sideline and incomplete, going for Collins. 58 seconds to go and it's 3rd down and 10.
Pass just slightly off target for Miller Moss. This crowd coming to life on 3rd down. And they generate a pass rush with Chris Bell, 0, the go-to guy in these spots. 22 catches in his last 2 games, and he's already got 4 here tonight. Top of your screen in the boundary. They got safety help over the top.
One of those 4 catches was a touchdown. Instead, Louisville's going to keep it on the ground, and Brown breaking tackles. It's going to be 4th and 2. What do you do here if you're Jeff Brown?
Wow. I'm going to punt the football. I'm just wondering what Miami's going to do. Miami not going to use a timeout. Well, Jeff Brown staying aggressive. He's keeping the offense on the field. As he let this go all the way down to about 10 seconds. I don't think you want to give Miami the football back at this juncture in the field. I think they're going to let this go down.
They will not snap it. Now, with 12 seconds to go, Jeff Brown takes a timeout.
Louisville, they're first. 30 seconds.
Do you still punt it here, or do you say, you know what, we've got 12 seconds. We can throw the ball, take 5 or 6 seconds off the clock. If we get a 1st down, we can kick a field goal. If not, Miami's probably got a Hail Mary.
I think you can go either way, Dave. I'm a conservative guy. I punt the football, but I think you make a lot of sense by potentially going for it in this spot. The last thing you would want was to leave too much time on the clock, and if Miami could find their way into field goal position and steal points here before halftime. But they do have 2 very good kickers in tow. Each have made over 50-yard field goals on the season. And as I mentioned, I'm punting this football. You played a good, clean half. I want to take a lead going into halftime. I'd hate for anything bad to happen in this spot, and you lose that lead that you've had the entire game.
I understand that, but you came in being aggressive. What's really the level of risk on 4th down? If you throw the ball, you could take time off the clock, and at worst, it's a Hail Mary for Miami. You just have to knock down. This punt will go into the end zone with 4 seconds left. Cooper Ranvier made a 50-yard field goal against Virginia, so he did have, would have been in a position had they gotten a 1st down to at least have a shot. But they punt, and now Miami with 4 seconds left may just take a knee and go to halftime.
You have a very valid point. I'm sure Jeff Brown was sitting over there, you know, juggling with that decision in that timeout. But what a start here coming out. They came out with formations, with a game plan. They executed it, the fake field goal on that opening drive. And they're going to take a halftime lead here on the road against the number 2 team in the country.
The 3rd quarter. And Marion going to run it out of the end zone here. And he's in trouble and tackled short of the 20, and there is a penalty marker down. 5 first-half penalties on Miami, 1 on Louisville. Hurricanes number 2 in the country, 5-0.
Holding. Receiving team, number 41. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. 1st down.
It's on Chase Smith. Let's check in with Taylor McGregor.
Dave, Mario Cristobal told me we're doing a lot of dumb stuff offensively, meaning the turnovers, the penalties. He said we have to get into a rhythm. We need our leaders to really step up and knock off those stupid mistakes that we were making. You mentioned the run game. They want to establish that here in the 2nd half, but he was really pleased with his defense. He said it took us a little bit to get our cleats in the ground, but we've done a good job of responding there. Also, Akeem Mesidor, he's good to go, so that's good news for the Canes.
Certainly Mesidor, a very important player. Now can Carson Beck be good to go for Miami? 2 picks. He had 3 all season coming into the game. Just 3 incompletions. So only one of those 3 actually hit the ground. And Miami backed up inside its 10 after the penalty on the kick return. Fletcher on first down. It's maybe 2 against this Louisville front 7 that has been outstanding so far in this game. Jordan Gerard and JoJo Evans on the stop.
#1 defense for total yards in the ACC, 12 in the country, and they have lived up to it here so far. They've been stout in that front 7. They've given up a couple explosives in the pass game, but so good in that front, negating this rushing attack of Miami.
Back to the air on 2nd down and 8, surveying the field. Everybody covered. And now Beck throwing it, and it is incomplete. Trying to hit C.J. Daniels. In coverage that time, Jabari Mack, who had one of the 2 interceptions for Louisville in the first half.
Which is a 3-man rush here, and all day for Carson Beck, but he's got nowhere to go with the football. Jabari Mack all over C.J. Daniels. He's going to be in perfect position. Watch him work as he just stays with it. It's tough to cover for this long. You're asking a lot of your defensive backs. Mack just stays right there with him, gets that hand up, and gets the pass deflection.
Back on 3rd and 8. Steps up in the pocket and takes off. And he's brought down at the 17-yard line by T.J. Quinn. A 3-and-out by Miami to start the 3rd quarter.
With T.J. Quinn just playing like a spy, eyes on the quarterback. It's the 2nd time tonight that we've seen Carson Beck drop down to be a runner, and T.J. Quinn has been right there to get a stop. That's exactly what Jeff Brom wanted coming out of half. Ron English's defense has come to play here tonight. An outstanding opening possession, 3-and-out.
Colin Lacey, who's got 2 punt returns for touchdowns, is back at his 43-yard line. Dylan Joyce booting it away from his 5. And Lacey has to backpedal all the way to his 26-yard line. And he gets tripped up at about the 35. 53-yard punt.
Let's go back to the first possession of this game, and Louisville threw everything in the kitchen sink, including a fake field goal executed perfectly. And you'll see the defender Brown stays with the kicker. No one identifies the holder as he's the runner. And then Miller Moss powers his way into the end zone. That set the tone and the tenor for this ball game. Dave, they've thrown a lot at this Miami defense formationally. 3 different quarterbacks on the field, snapping it to a multitude of players, and a lot of quick game here in the first half.
Play action on 1st down and a strike to midfield. It's Chris Bell with another catch. That is his 5th. One of those grabs a touchdown in the first half.
Well, it's going to be a little RPO action. Watch them get the 2nd-level linebacker up. And this is just man-to-man coverage outside. Tight window throw here from Miller Moss. And a great catch by Chris Bell.
But he grabbed the back of his left leg and hobbled off the field after he got tackled by Frenetic. Moss behind the receiver, but Collins makes the catch. Another 1st down for Louisville at the Miami 37-yard line. A gain of 12.
Chris Bell, been one of the best receivers in college football. Coming into tonight, back-to-back ACC wide receiver of the week. And so far in this game, Miami has not had an answer for him. That is a very important hamstring he's tugging at here early on in this 2nd half.
But Collins, a transfer from Clemson and North Carolina State, with a nice catch on that last play. They run it to the left. And Brown inside the 35, and with a defender bearing down on him, Mo Toure, he headed for the sideline and got out of bounds after a gain of 6.
Boy, Isaac Brown, he's showing you he's got that other gear. Really good getting to the perimeter. He makes Passaic miss out there in space. Okay, this young man is averaging over 7 yards a carry for his career in his first 2 seasons. They've been waiting on this type of explosiveness, and a running game that has been absent is showing up here tonight.
9 yards per carry in this game for the Miami native. Went to Homestead High School here locally. Nothing there on Second down. Brown wrapped up by Toure. So it'll bring up third down and about 3.
Ruben Bain on the backside, showing that physicality. So stout in the run game. Good backside chase play by Ruben Bain. Can they generate a pass rush? We've seen Heatherman dial up blitzes. Can they get there with 4?
Up the middle, pressure, and the pass is incomplete. The official signaled incomplete. Jacoby Thomas has the ball. One official right away said incomplete. Another said interception. It certainly looked like it skipped.
It definitely looked like it skipped.
It was an interception.
And you could see Jeff Brom is lighting up his quarterback, Miller Moss, right now.
Well, the pressure's going to come. They dial it up again, and it's 0 Keontae Scott.
Interception is under further review.
Well,
first of all, how did they call that? I mean, the umpire, you see him right there, signal incomplete. Why did he not tell the other officials what he saw? Because the ruling on the field from the referee was a pick.
This should be pretty quick. We appreciate the ACC, done a great job giving us access all season. We have it again tonight in the command center. I can't imagine this one going to take very long.
So you saw Jeff Brom talking to Miller Moss.
Yeah.
What do you think he's telling him there? He was really unhappy with that last play.
We rushed that pass. You know, that pressure came. They've been bringing 0 the nickel Keontae Scott quite a bit. Let me tell you something. This offensive line needs to figure it out because he continues to get home, and I think that ball is too close to an harm's way for Jeff Brom.
30-yard line, left hash, 4th down, correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
After further review, the pass was incomplete. It's 4th down.
So it's 4th and 3. Do you go for it if you're Louisville?
They've got a great kicking game. I think they're going to kick this ball. And they've been outstanding in the kicking game here so far this season. They got Keller or they've got Ranvier, and it's Ranvier that's out there. He's been excellent this year. They've 9 of 10 with a season long of 50 against Virginia.
They had a fake field goal in the first quarter, and the holder Chapeau was the one that ran it down to the 1-yard line. This will be a 48-yard try to extend the lead. The kick has the leg, and it is good. Cooper Ranvier buries a 48-yard field goal, and it's a 7-point lead for Louisville. A 48-yard field goal. Miami went 3 and out on its first drive. Keelan Marion is deep. Mario Cristobal, year 4 as the Miami head coach. Won 2 national titles as a player with the Hurricanes. Touchback, it'll come out to the 25. Carson Beck, 9 of 13 passing, 174 yards and 2 picks. They did try to run the ball in first down. They only got 2 yards. They really need that run game to get going to better support Beck. Just 26 yards on the ground for Miami.
Yeah, totally agree, Dave. I think that this is an area that I thought they would have a big advantage. Line of scrimmage, run the ball. It was really the pressure and pass defense of Louisville coming into this game that have been so impressive. But so far tonight, this run defense, it's been impenetrable to this point.
Lyle and Marty Brown are in the backfield. That's Brown leaving and Beck throwing the other way, and the pass brought the receiver to the ground. Elijah Lofton at the 29-yard line, a gain of 4.
Defensive coordinator for Louisville, Ron English, does an excellent job. They mix up coverage, a lot of zone, a lot of man. We've seen both of those here tonight. They dial up different pressures. This defense plays hard. Strength of this football team, and they've come to play here this evening.
They'll run Brown here on 2nd down, and he's close to the line to gain. They're going to say his knee was down about 1.5 yards short. 3rd down coming up. You mentioned Ron English in his 4th year as the defensive coordinator. He's been around a long time as a head coach at Eastern Michigan. Excellent position coach and D coordinator.
Really enjoyed getting a chance to talk with him this week. You can tell this defense leaves it all on the field for him. Extra offensive lineman here on this one. I expect him to keep it on the ground.
Brown trying to find a hole, and he got enough to move the chains. Justin Beatles grabbed a hold of him, but the running back Brown able to stretch the ball out and get a first down.
Artie Brown was an addition from North Dakota State. Won a national championship a year ago, was the Jerry Rice Award winner, which goes to the most outstanding freshman in the FCS. And he's really added to this running back room. He's thick, he's downhill, and a nice job getting yards after contact.
Back to the air, pressure off the edge, and the pass is incomplete. A huge hit by Hutchinson on the receiver, C.J. Daniels. Hutchinson may have hurt himself when he dislodged the ball.
Daniels still on the ground around midfield with big collision there from D'Angelo Hutchinson. D'Angelo Hutchinson going to be playing safety, and he plants and drives on this ball, and he delivers a big blow to C.J. Daniels, still laying down on the field. It's a collision sport, and a big collision here. Zero piece of that was targeting. That's just a good old-fashioned clean hit.
Back on second down, and the screen to Toney. And Toney's tracked down at the 40-yard line, so just a gain of about 4 on the play. Trying to get the ball in Toney's hands. That's the first time he's touched it here in the second half. He's got 5 grabs for 114 yards on the night.
We came in talking so much about the pressure that this Louisville defense has created. 55% of passes, they're able to get pressure. That leads college football coming into tonight. Haven't gotten that same pressure here this evening on Carson Beck. Their best pass rusher, Clev Lubin, top of your screen.
C.J. Daniels just saw him check back in for 3rd down and 6. Beck will throw to that bunch to Toney, and great job defensively by Jabari Mack to slow him down. And then the rest of the Cardinals defense comes in with the hit. And that will force Miami to punt on 4th and 6.
Boy, Jabari Mack is playing his tail off tonight. Watch him work through this block of C.J. Daniels. Perfect position, outside shoulder free. Doesn't just force Toney back inside. He makes this play right at the line of scrimmage. The aggressiveness, fight through that block, get it on the tackle, and nowhere for Malachi Toney to go on 3rd down.
Louisville is 4-1, 1-1 in conference play. The lone loss against Virginia in overtime when Virginia scored 2 defensive touchdowns. That was 2 weeks ago. Miami undefeated, 5-0, 1-0 in conference play. 3 wins over ranked teams. Lacey did not signal for the fair catch, and they're going to spot it back at about the 7-yard line. How about the long snapper, Adam Booker, running down there for the Canes to make the tackle.
Adam Booker picking him up, putting him down. Love this effort by the deep snapper. And Colin Lacey, one of the best punt returners in the country, number 2 in average in college football coming into tonight. He thought he's going to be able to make the deep snapper miss. Not so fast, my friend. Now this Louisville offense backed up inside the 10.
And now penalty flag is down. There's 12 men on the field for Louisville.
Offense, 12 players in formation. 5 yards, half the distance to the goal. It's 1st down.
Just a horrible mistake, and Jeff Brom letting either a coach or a player know about it, because how does that happen after a change of possession? 12 men on the field.
Looked like one of his assistants. He was given an earful, but great news for Louisville fans and this team. Chris Bell, the outstanding wide receiver, back in this ball game.
He was on the bike for a while. Went out after his holding his left hamstring. That's the injury report from Taylor. And here's Brown on 1st down, past the 10 and out to about the 13. So they get some breathing room after A gain of 8.
Well, it's a big hole off the right side. Watch this right here. Working on Ruben Bain. Really good stymie at the point of attack by 60. Rasheed Miller gets just enough of Ruben Bain to allow Brown to get to the edge. And
Dusty, Isaac Brown is running hard again tonight. We didn't see this a lot this year. Last year when he was at his best, he was hitting the hole hard and had almost 1,200 yards. Moss right at the sticks. It's a first down catch for Chris Bell.
the strength of Chris Bell jumped off the tape coming in, and you see it tonight. One-on-one outside. Just one-on-one. Xavier Lucas, the Wisconsin transfer, will come back. See the strong hands attacking the football. Using that big frame, 6'2", 220. We stood down there in the pregame, Dave. That's an NFL wide receiver if I've ever seen one. He's got a great frame and putting together another outstanding performance here tonight.
80 receiving yards. He averages 100. Good for 5th in the country. So first down on the Louisville 20. Back to the ground game. And Brown has no running room, and there's a flag down. No gain on the play. See what the penalty's about.
Might be on Musa, 71, the right guard. Tackled Jacoby Thomas.
Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. It's first down.
Jacoby Thomas going to come on a pressure. And it's Musa who hog ties him and takes him down. Thomas comes here, 71. It's a good call.
So Louisville had 1 penalty until this series. They've had 2 already on this possession. And it is 1st and 20 back at the 10.
Going the wrong direction after that first down from Chris Beck.
We have not seen the variety of formations so far here early in the third that we saw in the first half from Jeff Brom. Only 1 quarterback has been in the game, and that's Moss. And he'll throw here, but he's in trouble, being chased back at his 2-yard line and throws it out of bounds. Pressure from Akeem Mesidor.
We haven't called his name very much tonight, but Akeem Mesidor with a really good job coming off the edge. He's going to work around the tight end. And he's going to be able to apply this pressure. Miller Moss unable to locate anyone down the field. Good defense and keeping this Louisville offense backed up.
They've only been able to sack Moss once tonight, but 7 or 8 other pressures by Miami. And they go empty. Moss will get rid of it quickly, and he airmails that one, trying to hit Lacey out in the flat. It'll be 3rd down and 20.
Boy, Miller Moss looks a little frazzled after that errant throw. Hands on his head. You can just tell he's a little out of sync. He's backed up. Frustrated with this throw, and now backed up on 3rd and super long, and this end zone's full of Canes fans, and they're starting to come to life and make some noise to help their defense.
You got to wonder too, all the hits and all the pressures, have they taken a toll on Miller Moss? And the play clock down to 1. Moss setting up a screen to Brown, and he's out to the 23, but he's well short of a first down. But breathing room for the punter here for Louisville as we near 5 minutes to go in the third.
And the Miami defense gets the stop that they need. Good job and effort there on that screen. 18, Armando Blunt chasing down Brown and getting him to the ground. Exactly what Mario Cristobal wanted to see from his defense. Had Louisville backed up and able to force a punt.
See if they can flip the field. Louisville rotates punters. This is Carter Schwartz. Malachi Toney on the short punt. That was definitely a signal for a fair catch. He got called for an invalid signal in the first half, but that was pretty demonstrative. Only a 33-yard punt. Miami looking to tie the game when they get back on offense following this break. Points, first time this year by more than 10. The rushing game has not been there for Miami, and 2 turnovers by the Canes, but no Louisville points. off those takeaways. And they got Mark Fletcher in the game wide, and instead they throw to the slot to Marion, and a great play made by Hutchinson, who had the hit and got banged up on that big hit against C.J. Daniels on the last drive.
Boy, it looked to me like it was Watts. Watch Watts come up and force this play. 9 off the edge, and Hutchinson finishes it off. Good aggressive defense from Louisville.
On 2nd and long, backing up. His pass pulled in for a first down by Keelan Marion, but a penalty flag in the backfield. Carson Beck took a shot. He needed to get helped up from a teammate after the hit. Gain of 15.
Foul, roughing the passer. Defense number 23. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
That's on Wesley Bailey of Louisville.
And if you're Wesley Bailey, you've got to hold up. He gets there just a touch late. Coming off the edge, a good throw by Carson Beck. Let him go. You have the opportunity to throttle down, run to the side of the quarterback. He chooses to hit him in the back, and it's going to easily draw the flag. Got to be smarter in that situation if you're Wesley Bailey.
It's a 30-yard play. You get the 15-yard pass play. Jeff Brom doesn't like the call, but you're right. He took 3-4 steps before he made the hit on Beck. This might be a double pass. Toney was a high school quarterback, but he ends up running the ball as there was a defender in the backfield as soon as he caught it. That was JoJo Evans. And a gain of just a couple there for Toney.
And it's a good job covered downfield. They wanted the double pass. Watch Lubin get out. Does a really good job in pursuit of this throw. And then the coverage down the field. He wanted to look down the field. Looked like to Alex Bauman, but it's well covered. I just love the way this Louisville defense is flying to the football.
Nearing 3 minutes to go here in the third. Miami down 7, trailed 14-0 in the first quarter. Fletcher up the gut, pushing the pile, still moving. Louisville defenders, and they finally blow it dead. About 2 yards short of a first down. It's a gain of 6. 3rd and 2 coming up.
And one of the people right in the middle of it, C.C. Maui Noah, the outstanding right tackle. That's just size there for Miami. They go 345, 325, 345, 335, and 295 across the front. One of the biggest offensive lines in college football. And you see them just continue to push that pile for extra yards.
They go with 6 offensive linemen here on 3rd down and short, and a 225-pound running back. There was some movement by Miami. Penalty marker down.
False start. Offense number 63. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Samson Okunlola, the guilty man.
And there's going to be a stem up front by Louisville, and then Okunlola reacts off that. But watch, there'll be a move call, and they're going to stem, which is completely legal. And when he does that, you see the movement there by 63, draws the flag.
So that changes perhaps your call here. You look like you're in rundown with 6 O-linemen, and now after the penalty, it's 3rd and 7.
Malachi Toney up top.
And Beck to throw. The pass tipped at the line and incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 7. And the field goal unit will trot out there for the Canes.
This is something Louisville takes pride in. And it's 90 Conga inside. They're one of the best teams I've seen on film at batting passes down at the line of scrimmage. If you're not going to get there with pressure, get in the throwing lane and get your hand up. Big stop there for that defense.
Carter Davis hit from 27 in the first half. This will be a 41-yard attempt. Try to cut the deficit to 4. And the kick is perfect, and it's 17-13 Louisville. But as you said, that is an enormous stop by the Cardinals after giving up 30 yards on one play. Pass play for 15, then the late hit tacking on 15 more.
And they had the best starting field position of the night that you touched on to start that drive. And a little bend but don't break here for Ron English's defense. And I think a lot of people thought coming in, maybe this would be a shootout, some points scored. It's been a defensive battle here in Miami this evening.
Check in with Taylor McGregor down on the field.
Well, Dave, Miller Moss, 5 hiding some frustration. He came to the sideline after Louisville's last offensive drive, and he was shaking his head as he was rewatching video on the iPad. And then the receivers coach goes up to his group and says, your quarterback needs to get into a rhythm, and I need you guys to help him out. And Dave, we've been talking about zero Chris Bell, who's been dealing with the left hamstring injury. He keeps stretching that out here on the sideline, so something to pay attention to, as he is their go-to guy out wide.
No question, 80 receiving yards, 7 targets, 6 catches. Miller Moss, 184 passing yards, but a lot of that was in the first quarter and 3 or 4 minutes of the second quarter. Touchback, Louisville will start on its 25.
Yeah, first 2 drives of the game, Dave, where we saw this offense have supreme success, and we saw that frustration that Taylor just talked about on that last possession. Little swing pass that he completely missed on. We saw him hit himself on the helmet. Can Miller Moss snap out of it and put together a drive here for his offense?
His first year in Louisville, he was the starter at USC last year. Got benched, though, after throwing 3 interceptions in a game against Washington. He was Caleb Williams' backup for a year, had 6 touchdowns in the bowl game after Williams declared for the NFL draft. That bowl game was against Louisville, and the coaching staff noticed that. They brought him to Kentucky for this season. He's got a touchdown through the air and a rushing score, and his team is in front late in the 3rd quarter. And he'll throw on 1st down, and Moss going to throw it into coverage. There's a lot of contact, but no flag. Frenetic all over Chris Bell. 2nd down.
Well, Frenetic's had his issues all night. There's going to be hand-to-hand contact all the way down. Boy, there's a lot of contact. They're hand fighting at the end. A little surprised that didn't draw a flag early on. Official's going to allow him to play.
And Matt Austin agreed with you, Dusty. You believe that was a penalty as well. Moss batted down. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Armando Blunt got a hand up, knock it to the ground.
Well, this is so good. Watch him work. Just stay right on the center. Watch Blunt. He's going to work right in the center, and he's going to stay right in front of the quarterback. Again, if you can't get to the quarterback, get in the pass rush lane and get that hand up as the pass delivered. Well-timed hand up in the air by Blunt. 3 and 4 on the same side, Dave. You got Mesidor, you got Bain, side by side.
Play clock down to 4. And they're going to run it. Isaac Brown away from those 2 guys, and he gets the 1st down. Knocked out of bounds at the 45. They ran it away from Mesidor and Bain. And it's a big play on 3rd down and 10.
Watch the linebackers. They're just going to move over here, and they're going to run this ball in a wide open gap off the right side. Both backers move to their right, and a big hole opens up off the right side of the offensive line.
It's a 20-yard gain, and Isaac Brown is at 100 yards. He had 94 yards his last 3 games combined. He has really come alive, averaging 9 yards a pop. Brown again, and cut down in the backfield. Flying downhill was Poyser to make the tackle for a loss.
But Poyser just flies down from this safety position. Quality open field tackle as he cuts Isaac Brown in half and creates a negative play.
Final seconds of the 3rd quarter. A loss of 3. So Louisville behind the sticks. Miami showing blitz. Brown running it. And he's past midfield and gets another 1st down. They have found something in the run game. Was Isaac Brown again off the left side or the right side for a gain of 14. Had a gain of 20 moments ago.
An offense
4 and 14 under Cristobal when they trail starting the 4th. This is the first time this year they've been down in the 4th quarter. And Louisville on the move, but a whistle and movement on Louisville pre-snap. A bad penalty right out of a timeout in between quarters on Louisville.
Snap. Offense, number 50, 5-yard penalty. It's 1st down.
On the center, Pete Nigra.
We've touched on it several times, Dave, but Isaac Brown's ability to get going and Louisville's ability to establish a run game has been massive tonight. 112 yards through 3 quarters for Isaac Brown, reminding people he's one of the most talented running backs in this conference.
So 1st and 15. Brown running to the left this time. He had success off the right side at the end of the 3rd. Pushed out around the 44-yard line by Ethan O'Connor, so he gets a little bit of it back. 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
The burst and that speed, good hand fighting just to prevent the negative play there by Isaac Brown. It's well defended by that Miami defense.
Louisville 4-1, 1-1 in conference play. Jeff Brom, since 2018 as a head coach at Louisville and Purdue, is 3-2 against top 5 teams. He's been a giant killer before. Looking to take down number 2 Miami on the road. The Canes at 5-0. Moss over the middle. Lacey turning it upfield and wrestled down about 3 yards short of a 1st down by Teray.
And with the kicking game already have found their way within field goal range after that catch by Lacey. A big 3rd down here for this Miami defense. Akeem Mesidor having to come out. He is in pain, Dave. He trots off. He wants to be on the field, but they bring in Armando Blunt. And a question I have, where's Ruben Bain? We have not called his name very much tonight. This defense needs a play. We've seen him run it in these spots here as of late.
And Kewan Brown is in the game at running back. Got a timeout taken here by Louisville.
Timeout. Louisville, they're first. Timeout on the field.
The Hurricanes trailing Louisville, and a critical 3rd down and 3 for the Cardinals at the Hurricane 36.
Isaac Brown not in the game, little surprising. I'd look for 0. Chris Bell, bottom of your screen.
Miami bringing pressure. Moss over the middle to Brown, a 1st down, and Brown inside the 20, and Brown into the end zone. Touchdown Louisville. Chris Bell with his 2nd touchdown. And Bell over 100 yards on the day, pushes the lead to 10 with the extra point coming. Well, you called for Chris Bell, and so did Miller Moss. And Bell fighting off a hamstring injury into the end zone for the 2nd time, and the point after makes it 24-13.
Well, it's going to be zone coverage, and Chris Bell is going to split these linebackers that are going to drop out. Perfectly placed football. Watch these linebackers, Bell, here, and you're going to see this route come right in here, and Miller Moss is going to hit Chris Bell in stride. Then it's all Chris Bell after the catch. Makes the initial defender miss. And how about the speed by the big 220-pound wide receiver, picking him up, putting him down, and finding his way into the end zone with a massive touchdown here in this 4th quarter.
Since Jeff Brom took over in 2023, no head coach has more ACC wins. He's seeking number 24 here tonight. And his team is up 11. Now plenty of time for Miami. Only 41 rushing yards because you struggled to run the ball. Do you go away from that and trust your quarterback Carson Beck, or are you sticking with just running your offense?
I think you're going to add a little balance. There's plenty of time. There's no need to panic. But this next drive for Miami needs to result in points and some positive offense. I think if you want to continue to try to run the football, so be it. But look, you brought in Carson Beck to lead your football team. This guy's won 29 games as a starting quarterback. And if he's going to make it number 30, he's going to have to step up in this 4th quarter.
Number 1 among active quarterbacks with a 29-3 record, the 3rd best behind Trevor Lawrence and Deshaun Watson the last 15 years. Both of his interceptions are deep balls thrown downfield. One was an underthrow that was picked off by Mack. The other was just a great interception by Antonio Watts, the linebacker, with Malachi Toney having a step on him, but a leaping catch made by Watts. No points off those turnovers, though, for Louisville. Otherwise, their lead would be larger. Beck will throw on first down from the pocket, dumping it off underneath. And past the 30 is Marion. A gain of 6 to the 31.
This little mesh concept coming across. Rally up tackle for this Louisville defense. Good play on first down, and Miami's going to go quick.
They're going to run it here, and there's nothing up the middle for Jordan Lyle. Grabbed by T.J. Quinn, who has been all over the field. It's a 1-yard pickup, 3rd down and 3.
Just a tough, physical, veteran linebacker coming downhill, meeting Lyle right at the line of scrimmage. Now this becomes a very important 3rd down. We just touched on that 3rd down Louisville had. This one feels even bigger. Miami cannot afford to go a quick 3 and out right here.
There were some people calling Miami the best team in the country coming into this game. It's been a struggle for the Canes.
Malachi Toney in motion.
A must-pick-up situation, and Beck steps up to run, and he dives, but he comes up short by about a ½ yard. And the offense is staying on the field right now for Mario Cristobal on 4th down.
Well, it seems like he just got a little confused on where he was on the field. Well, I don't know. It looks like he got that, Dave. He didn't give himself up feet first. Looks like he gets to the 35.
That was a dive, not a slide.
Exactly.
So it's not where you start your slide.
Where the ball is when he hits the ground. I think they should take a look at this.
Ruling on the field that the ball carrier was short of the line to gain is under further review.
Where was the ball when the elbow hits? His left elbow hits first. Where's the elbow? Where's the ball? It's so tough. Toney's helmet in the way of that look.
Let's go to the ACC Game Day Operations Center in Charlotte.
Just to make sure, but you can see the left knee is down with the far handheld.
Yeah, he's got to make the hard line.
Yep, synced up with the near card. He is short, so we are going to uphold the ruling on the field.
Okay, uphold the ruling on the field. Clock's good. 4th down, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Thank you.
Good job.
That's a great job by the command center.
After further review, the ruling on the field is upheld.
You could see from that opposite angle with the knee. We couldn't see it. Toney was blocking it.
Exactly right. They synced that up. Really good communication. Good job. Continue to applaud the ACC for the transparency and the access they're giving us. And Miami, boy, I guess if you got an offensive line their size, you keep them on the field and you go for it. I mean, clearly Mario Cristobal feels that this drive is that important. He's got to go for it in this spot, and I'm fine with the call.
They bring in an extra offensive lineman for 4th down and 1. Beck will hand it off, and second effort going to be enough to move the chains that time.
Good leg drive by Marty Brown. He gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, but just continues to fight, move, and get just enough for an extremely important 1st down.
Nearing 11 minutes to go. Miami down 11. They trailed 14-0 in the 1st quarter. And then it was 14-10 at halftime. 17-13 Louisville until a moment ago when Chris Bell got into the end zone for the 2nd time. Beck steps up in the pocket, and he's taken down back at the 36, right at the line of scrimmage. Bailey and Lowry team up on the takedown for Louisville.
Well, Carson Beck wanted to take a shot down the field. It was well covered, and this is just good effort here on the rush to the quarterback.
2nd and 10. Quick throw to Toney, who has some blockers, and Toney lowers the shoulder on the defender. He stepped out of bounds a couple of yards short of a 1st down.
25, Tayan Holloway, the corner, has got to get his weight up because he just gets run through by the freshman Malachi Toney. We've seen his change of direction, his ability after the catch in space. How about the power running through the corner on the sideline?
But stepped out, so it's 3rd down and 1. And Toney holding that left wrist on the Miami sideline. Got to think 4-down territory here for Miami.
No question about that, Dave. We just saw him go for it on their own 34.
And It's Brown again getting the first down. They're short yardage back. Marty Brown, but a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage. Perry on the tackle for Louisville.
Offense, number 4, 10-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's on Mark Fletcher, the other running back.
And he did. He grabbed a hold, looked like D'Angelo Hutchinson, and it draws the flag. Watch him work right here. He's going to work over to his left. Looked like it was Hutchinson coming off the edge on a blitz. That right hand grabs it, and he pulls the jersey off his shoulder pad. What a costly holding penalty. Negates a first down and backs him up to 3rd and long. And
now 3rd and 11. Do you run something for 6 or 7 yards to give you a manageable 4th down, or do you throw something to the sticks? Beck from the pocket, pump fake, now throws over the middle, through the hands of the receiver, and intercepted by JoJo Evans. The 3rd pick thrown by Carson Beck. There was a shot on Carson Beck, and the officials are having a conversation back at the 20-yard line.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense number 50, 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
There actually was not a flag. The officials were talking about it, and then they just made the call without dropping the flag. The penalty on Cleve Lubin. That's a huge break for Miami.
Oh boy, I don't know about that. I'd like to bring in Matt Austin. I'm a former defensive lineman, so I might be biased, but it even looked like he moves to his side. Matt, is that roughing the passer?
It didn't look like much to me, Dusty. I agree with you. He didn't take an extra step. Looked like a wrap-up tackle. He just took him to the ground. So unless there's something I didn't see.
He even moved his body weight to the side, it appeared.
They actually did throw the flag. They just picked it up right away, and they were having a conversation about whether to call that, because I think there was disagreement initially between the 2 officials as Fletcher gets a couple of yards on first down.
Cleve Lubin's going to work inside off Mark Fletcher. Ball's delivered, and he's working, and they're saying body weight on the quarterback. That's a tough call.
2nd and 8. Beck, and he just throws that one away. Feeling a little pressure there, and perhaps out of the corner of his eye saw Jabari Mack on Mark Fletcher. Didn't want to risk it, threw it out of bounds. So he got 2 downs to get 8 yards with 8:37 to go. Can get a field goal on this possession to get it to a 1-score game. Don't necessarily need the touchdown here in this drive.
They got to have points. Any kind of points is good, but this drive has to result in points for Miami as the clock continues to wind down here in this 4th quarter.
Wide receiver screen to Daniels, and Daniels ran into a teammate as Lubin was bearing down on him and ripped into the ground at the 44. So it's going to be a gain of 4 and 4th down and 4.
Out of the range of Carter Davis, his long on the season, 53. Malachi Toney is the toughest matchup that Miami has for this Louisville defense. What's the play call here for Shannon Dawson? Can you get one of the top young wide receivers in college football some space?
Biggest play of the game, biggest play of the season for Miami. Beck throwing downfield, intercepted, picked off at the 25-yard line. It was JoJo Evans who got that one, and there's no flag this time. 3rd pick by Carson Beck. Louisville has the ball up 11.
Well, this interception is created by Rene Conga. Watch the big man work inside. He's going to get the pressure. It's going to force the errant throw from Carson Beck, and a massive, massive interception for this Cards defense.
Let's see if they run the ball and just try to take time off the clock. Isaac Brown fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by Poyser, and he's tackled inside the 15. The Canes are alive.
Wow. Defense trying to create some offense here tonight. How about the nickel? 0 Keontae Scott. Watch him come in with the shoulder and the helmet right on the football. Bang! Ball comes out. Poyser's on top. Thought he might be
able to scoop and score. That's excellent effort by Lacey just to get him on the ground. And just when it felt like the life had been sucked out of this stadium for Miami, they're back in prime real estate to try to get this to a one-score game.
Another chance for Carson Beck, who was holding his right elbow while he was sitting on the bench after that last interception. Remember, he hurt that elbow in the SEC championship last game, needed surgery, did not participate in the spring for Miami. So got to wonder about his health right now. But again, all you need is a field goal here. If you don't get in the end zone, it's not the end of the world if you're the Hurricanes, just trying to get it down to one score. And it's a jet sweep to Toney. And he stiff arms, and he is heading for the end zone. Touchdown, Miami! And just like that, the game completely flips. A turnover, a touchdown on the next play. And Miami will keep the offense out there and go for two to try to make it a three-point game midway through the fourth.
Get your playmakers to football. No bigger playmaker on this offense than Malachi Toney. What a play call from Shannon Dawson.
Lyle in the backfield with Beck. And it's an option pitch. And then a throw by Toney. And it's caught by Daniels. The high school quarterback, Malachi Toney, throws the ball to Daniels for a two-point conversion to make it a three-point game.
Wow, what a response from these Canes. Let's start on defense. Keontae Scott, the nickel transfer from Auburn, comes up, bang, ball's out, Poiser's on top. Little jet sweep, utilize the tight ends is what Shannon Dawson's gonna do. Watch these two, outstanding block by 9, outstanding block right here by 87 Bauman. It's Elijah Lofton, 9, setting that edge, and the speed and determination from Malachi Toney to get in. You've referenced him, Dave. He was a high school quarterback. Pitch it to him and let him go to work. And he finds C.J. Daniels to cut this to a three-point game.
Malachi Toney turned 18 years old a month ago. He originally committed to Miami for the 2026 season. Reclassified, he has been a stud all year. And that pass to Daniels makes it a three-point game. And now the pressure's on Louisville to try and move the ball with 7:37 left in the game to try to take time off the clock and then eventually get more points. Let's check in with Taylor.
Dave, C.J. Daniels went up to Malachi Toney and said, "You are that guy." And Dave, you talked about him being a quarterback. I talked to his mom, Tony, who told me that was my choice. Malachi always wanted to play receiver, but I made him play quarterback because I believed that was the best way for him to learn the game. So he's not only a freak at wide receiver, Dave, but we just saw him at QB as well.
Mama knows best, Dave Pash. And Mama has put her son in a prime position, reclassified a year ago. He should be a senior in high school right now. He just turned 18, and he's making massive plays to keep this undefeated season alive for Miami.
How will Miller Moss respond? He'll throw on first down. Underneath, it's Bell, and he's upended at the 32-yard line by Scott, but that's a good gain on first down, close to 8 yards.
So Chris Bell continues to impact this game. Now 8 catches, 124 yards, 3 straight 100-yard games. He's now got 5 touchdowns in his last 3 games. Miami has not had an answer for 0 for Louisville. Back to running this football. They had success running the ball. Isaac Brown not out there again.
Kewan Brown is the running back. He gets the carry, cuts it upfield. Miami trying to rip the ball out. Brown appears to have enough to move the chains. He does. That's a big first down as that clock continues to run. 6:45 and counting. Louisville leading by 3. Miller Moss with 2 passing touchdowns, 1 on the ground. And Louisville with that fumble on the last possession. Miami on the next play scored a touchdown, converted the two-point play, and here we are. 3-point game. From the Louisville 35, Kewan Brown stays in the game for Isaac Brown at running back. Moss back to throw. Here comes Bain. Moss on the move, and he almost throws a pick. Frenetic with a diving attempt could not come up with it. And Ahmad Moten got a shot in on Miller Moss.
Well, inside it was Bain. On the wrapper, it was Moten. Miller Moss puts that ball in harm's way. Be careful. Good coverage down the field by Frenetic. Boy, just the momentum, Dave, has just completely flipped inside this building. And a crowd that's been pretty quiet most of the night. They're on fire here late in this fourth quarter.
And it's still Kewan Brown. So you wonder about the health of Isaac Brown right now. And Kewan Brown is a good back. He's not Isaac Brown, who has over 100 rushing yards on the day, but we have not seen him in the game in the last couple of possessions. And sticking with Kewan Brown on 2nd and 10. Moss throwing, and what a catch on the sideline by Bell. He got a foot down, and it's a first down for Louisville.
Boy, this is an outstanding job by Kewan Brown. Watch him step up and pick up this blitzer off the edge, and then a really good route, allowing the time for Miller Moss to step into this throw. And Chris Bell has answered the bell time and time again in this ball game. Great execution on the sidelines from Moss to Bell.
142 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns for Chris Bell. Kewan Brown lowers the shoulder, runs through Aguirre, a defensive lineman that time, and a gain of about 6. Nearing 5 minutes to go here in the fourth. Louisville with 1 timeout left, up 3. Miami has 3 timeouts, and they'll get the official timeout at 2 minutes.
Well, that was a big throw, Dave, for Miller Moss. Stood firm in there. Again, if you can protect him and give him a clean pocket, he can be surgical. And it doesn't hurt when you've got a target like number 0 to deliver the football to.
Louisville trying to snap it with about 6 seconds on the play clock. Great play in the backfield by Keontae Scott, who's had a tremendous day. That's a loss of about 3 for Kewan Brown.
Well, 0, Keontae Scott. I mean, just setting edges and sawing down running backs, working outside the block of 85. The tight end goes low, gets a huge tackle for loss.
Moss unloads, almost picked off by Frenetic, but it's incomplete, and it's 4th and 8, and Louisville's going to have to punt the ball back to Miami with 4:13 to go.
Well, it's been a battle all night. Man-to-man coverage outside. O.J. Frederic's been beat by Chris Bell a lot. Not this time on the important 3rd down. Right in the hip pocket of Chris Bell. Undercuts this route. An outstanding pass breakup on a crucial 3rd down.
David Chapeau has had 2 punts tonight and have pinned the Hurricanes inside the 10. He'll look to do it again with Malachi Toney deep. Short punt. And the fair catch made around the 15-yard line for Miami.
What a ball game. Let's go all the way back. Here in the 4th quarter, Chris Bell on a crucial 3rd down, takes it to the house, 36 yards. Keontae Scott forces the fumble. It's Malachi Toney, the fabulous freshman, pays it off with the jet sweep, but he wasn't done there because they flip it to him, and the former high school quarterback finds C.J. Daniels to cut this to a 3-point game. Now the Miami defense forces a punt.
and the ball in Carson Beck's hands with a chance here late in this ball game.
This is why you went out and got him. A ton of big game experience. 29-3 record as a starter. Best among active college quarterbacks. They'll put it in his hands on first down. He completes it underneath for a short gain to Marion. 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout. So Miami picking up about 3 yards on first down.
Well, muddle huddle, they're going to operate quickly.
Marty Brown is in the game at running back. 4-man rush. Beck to throw again. Gets hit, and the pass is knocked away from Toney, incomplete. That was T.J. Quinn, the linebacker, who made the play, and it's 3rd down and 8.
Quinn been good all night in run support. This time it's in coverage. Watch him get the right hand in here and knock this ball out. That pass a little behind Malachi Toney, but he's thrown into coverage, Dave. Not a great choice there for Carson Beck as Clev Lubin delivers a shot on Carson Beck as he delivers that throw.
3rd down and 8.
Oh, false start.
And there goes the flag. It's going to be 3rd and 13.
False start. Offense number 9. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
If you don't pick this up, we've seen Miami go for it on 4th down. You're punting. You have 3 timeouts and the 2-minute timeout, so plenty of time here. Not necessarily a situation where you have to risk it this deep in your own end. Miami's just 1 for 6 this half on 3rd down.
And this is an excellent 3rd down defense for the Cardinals all season long. Clev Lubin, top of your screen, their best pass rusher.
They rush 3. Beck climbs the pocket and throws, and a sliding catch is made at the 30-yard line for a first down by C.J. Daniels. A gain of 17 yards on 3rd down and 12.
Well, boy, on the move, stepping up, and he fires a strike. How about the adjustment by Daniels? Behind him, goes down, and gets a huge catch.
Back to throw again. Daniels again, and a big hit by Jabari Mack. As soon as the ball was caught, a pickup of 3. As we hit the 3-minute mark here in the 4th with Miami in possession, trailing by 3. 5-0 on the season, number 2 in the country, highest ranking since they were number 2 in 2017. We've been wondering since the last national title in 2001, many times when they get off to good starts, is the U back? They certainly looked like it the first 5 games of the year, and they're still alive here. First down catch by Marion at the 43-yard line for a 15-yard gain.
Well, it's a good route on the comeback. Marion, who we haven't said his name much, he's working on Jabari Mack. A good long throw and a strike delivered from Carson Beck.
Miami taking its time here as it gets a little bit closer to midfield. Another pass play. Beck steps up, takes off, and dragged down after the short gain by Gerard. And that will take us to the official 2-minute timeout. Miami about 25 yards away or so from a chance at a game-tying field goal. Louisville going for its 2nd all-time win against a top 2 team. From getting in field goal range, they have all 3 of their timeouts at 2nd down and 9 on their 44. Carson Beck has thrown 3 interceptions, but he's got a chance here to bring Miami back from the brink, and he finds Toney, who is spun down at midfield. Good tackle that time by Holloway after a gain of 6. It is 3rd down.
Well, it's an outstanding tackle outside by Holloway. Man-to-man, outside, little shake route, working that quick out. And boy, if you allow Malachi Toney out of the grasp, he's running for a lot of yards after the catch.
1:30 to go here in the 4th. Back on 3rd down and short, and it's Toney again with a first down catch. The clock will stop to reset the chains at 1:26 after the gain of 8 as they inch closer to field goal range.
They love those bunch formations. They can hide Malachi Toney, and he can sort through the coverage, and a good find by Carson Beck.
Their kicker, Carter Davis, is long on the year is 53, so about 6 or 7 more yards to get close. Clock running on the ready for play. Beck in trouble, can't take a sack, and he gets rid of the pass to Daniels. Wrapped up after a short gain at the 40-yard line. And the clock is running. Miami not using a timeout.
Boy, watch Cleve Lubin come inside right now. And a great job by Carson Beck to avoid that pressure and make a play.
50 seconds and counting. 2nd down and 8. Back to the sideline, and staying in bounds close to the 1st down is Lyle. They will mark him out at the 33-yard line, close to the 1st down. They are in field goal range now. It is 3rd down and 1. And again, the long on the year for Davis is 53.
Keep Lyle in the ball game. Elect to run the football here in a crucial 3rd and short situation.
Clock was stopped because Lyle went out of bounds. It'll start on the snap. And they're going to run Lyle. Pushes forward.
Timeout.
And has a 1st down.
At some point you want to use a timeout.
Well, if you're Louisville, you want to use a timeout, right?
They've only got 1 left. But if you're Miami, I mean, look, you're not looking for a field goal. You're looking to win this game. I mean, you're looking to score a touchdown here.
It is a timeout. Miami, see the ball came out there, but Lyle got it back.
Wow.
Looked like JoJo Evans ripped it out as Lyle was on top of another player. So he was still alive. But Lyle with the fortunate bounce. So you said they're going to win the game.
Yeah.
So if you're Shannon Dawson here, are you throwing the ball down? 1st down at the 31. It would be about a 49-yard attempt from here for the Canes. And Beck will throw. Gets rid of it quickly, and it is almost picked off. It is! It's intercepted! TJ Capers looked like it was tipped at the line, and Beck throws his 4th pick of the game, and that one was a killer.
Did he complete the process of this catch, Dave? From where I've seen, I haven't seen anything that says he did not. You're going to see coming off the edge here. Looks like they got a hand on the football, deflects this pass. It's 27, JoJo Evans. That ball never touches the ground. What an incredible play by TJ Capers. Pass is deflected. Capers goes down. Strong fingers.
Wow.
That is a remarkable interception. The 4th of the game. And it's going to end the undefeated season for Miami. Wow. What a performance from this Louisville defense. 4 takeaways and 4 interceptions of Carson Beck here tonight.
Mario Cristobal told us this will be likely the best defense we face all year. A timeout will be taken here by Miami.
And this Louisville defense has lived up to it. I mentioned it to you earlier, Dave. Watching their film, they do such a good job deflecting passes, getting their hands up. It's the defensive line, and this time it's a safety coming off the edge, getting his hands up, getting the pass deflection, and then TJ Capers making what will be one of the more memorable interceptions in Louisville football history. And Jeff Brom, if you're a top 5 team in the regular season, you better get prepared, because all this man does is get his team ready and win these type of games.
2 weeks to get ready. We saw a lot of trick plays, a variety of formations. We saw 3 quarterbacks on the field at one time for Louisville in the first half. That threw Miami off. It slowed them down. They had to think. Miami on offense made some big plays, or Louisville did rather, got up 14-0. Miami stormed all the way back to get within 3. They're in field goal range. They throw the ball, and Carson Beck throws his 4th interception. Miami takes its last timeout, and so Louisville will take one more knee and leave Hard Rock Stadium with a win, which will send Jeff Brom to 4-0 in the regular season against top 5 teams. And once again, Miami trips up. We saw it last year. Got off to that 9-0 start. Almost lost to Cal on the road. Almost lost at Louisville, but won those games. But then lost to Georgia Tech. Dropped 3 of 4 down the stretch. And now they got to bounce. They're 1-1. We still got a half a season to go. The trip up comes a little bit earlier in 2025 for Miami as Miller Moss takes a knee and Jeff Brom does it again. The Cardinals come to Miami and knock off number 2. First win against the top 2 teams since Lamar Jackson beat the second-ranked Knowles during his Heisman Trophy season.